Your information station, WTIM.
And it's time now for the WTIM Morning Show right here on WTIM, your information station. I'm your host, Tim Zalabak. Thank you all for tuning in, and thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. On the phone line to get us started here, Jack Myers, Public Affairs Specialist with the Social Security Administration. How you been lately, Jack?
I'm doing well, Tim. How are you?
I've been doing super well. We got some really cool topics today to cover here, so I thank you all, as always, for coming in so prepared with these and giving us the information we really need. If you're in a job right now, if you're looking for a job, I think it's always important to know your earnings history, how to check it, and what your earnings history really is. I mean, take it from me here, Jack. What do we need to know?
Well, you're right. It is very important to review that earnings history, make sure that it is correct and accurate. What you may not necessarily realize is that earnings history is really important in determining how much your Social Security benefits will ultimately be. We track your earnings so that we can pay you the benefits you've earned over your lifetime. That is really the whole purpose of having a Social Security number, is so that we can track those earnings and make sure that one day you receive the correct benefit that you're eligible for. What you may not necessarily realize is when we're calculating a retirement benefit, we're going to use your 35 best years of Social Security to calculate or compute that benefit. So we're looking at an extensive history, and it's important that all those years be accurate. If you don't have 35 years of work under Social Security, we will have to use zeros in that calculation. So it can make a difference, can bring that benefit down. If for some reason there's an error or missing earning, you could ultimately receive less per month from Social Security than what you're really eligible for, because you paid those taxes, so you want to make sure you get that credit for it. And the best way to review your record to make sure that it's accurate is to look at your online account. So you can go to ssa.gov/myaccount. So you're looking at your personal My Social Security account. If you don't have one of those, you can go ahead and set it up and then take a look at your earnings record. And this is something, Tim, that I encourage people to do probably at least on an annual basis. Make sure you're looking at that. You're going to want to compare what we have to your own personal tax documents to make sure that what's reported to us is correct. Usually it's going to be, but on rare occasions, there might be some kind of mix-up with your W-2 where, maybe they get your name wrong or something like that. And for whatever reason, it causes that to not get properly posted to your earnings record. So again, take a look at that. If you have a My Social Security account already, we will go ahead and send you an email once a year about 3 months before your birthday to remind you to check. But if you don't have that account set up, you won't get that reminder for us. So go to ssa.gov and create that My Social Security account today.
Perfect. Real incentive to working 35 years right there. And then SSA is going to take the best of your 35 years. Is it almost safe to say that most employers are going to be working take out for Social Security?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Tim?
Yeah, is it pretty safe to say that most employers you're going to be working at will take out of your paycheck for Social Security?
Typically, yes.
Okay.
About the only exception to that would be there are certain types of public employment where you won't pay into Social Security. An example in the state of Illinois for people who are public school teachers, they pay into the teacher's retirement system instead of Social Security. So, most of the time, if you're private sector, you're going to be paying into Social Security. Sometimes if you're a public employee with an alternate pension system that's as good or better than the Social Security system, you might not be, but most people are paying in. So you're going to want to look at that. And your W-2 will be a clear indicator of that. So on your W-2, there will be a box that says Social Security. And if you see that on there, you know that you're paying in. And that's really what you should be looking at when you're looking at your My Social Security account. You're going to want to compare the Social Security wage column with the Social Security box on your W-2.
Hmm.
Or if you're self-employed, you're going to want to look at your Schedule SE for your net earnings from self-employment.
Sure. You mentioned throwing in zeros into the equation there. If you're not at that 35 years, just hearing the word zero in any type of formula is kind of scary. Am I feeling the right thing there? And what if you have 30 years and you're that much closer? Is that really going to affect your benefit a lot?
It could.
Yeah.
You're not wrong that when you hear zeros, it is a little bit scary, and there is a pretty big advantage to having at least 35 years of work covered by Social Security. The good news is that if you don't quite have 35 and you're starting to collect your benefits from Social Security, we will continue to look at your earnings record as you go forward. So you're going to keep paying Social Security taxes, and you could drop some of those 0 years out if you continue to work and pay into Social Security. So it is something that we would adjust every year for you automatically.
Cool.
Of course, depending on how old you are, you may be subject to earnings limits if you're younger than full retirement age. But even if you're just working part-time, if you're knocking out a zero, that could be beneficial for you. One of the things I want to mention too, Tim, is that when you're looking at your earnings record, keep in mind that we don't have your current earnings posted, so we're not going to have 2024 on there yet. And if you're looking early in the year, we may not have the prior year yet. So, as we get close to the end of the year here, if you check this out in February, there's a good chance we might not have 2024.
Yeah.
But at this point in the year in November, most of our 2023 postings are done. So just keep that in mind. The current year will never be posted. Last year may or may not, depending on when in the year you're looking. But everything prior to last year should certainly be there.
Absolutely. I feel like that would cause a few calls in just to straighten that out. But that's really good to know about the updates there. On the phone line now, Jack Myers, Public Affairs Specialist with the Social Security Administration. We're learning all about checking your earnings history, how important that is. What else do we need to know about earnings history, Jack?
Well, one of the other things and kind of where I'll go from here on this topic is, let's say you spot a problem, okay? What should you do? How do you fix that? How do you get that taken care of? And that kind of speaks to the importance of checking this on a flow basis because it's pretty easy to fix. All we really need to see to fix it is a copy of your W-2, or if you're self-employed, we need your self-employment tax return and the proof of taxes paid. So if you spot a problem from 2 or 3 years ago, it's probably pretty safe to say you still have those tax documents. But if you spot a problem from 23 years ago, you might not be as likely to have those documents. So that's why it's so important to keep an eye on this as you go, because the sooner you spot the issue, the more likely you are to have the documents that you need to get it fixed. And when it comes to how you go about doing that, basically you just have to get those documents to us. In some cases, you can actually initiate that correction right through your online My Social Security account. So if that's going to be there for you, you'll see it. If that's not available to you, then you could simply send those documents to us, or you could drop them off at a Social Security office. Give us a call first, and we'll tell you how to go about doing that. You can call us at 800-772-1213. But again, it's a pretty simple fix as long as you have that documentation, which speaks to the importance of checking it on a regular basis.
Absolutely. And you guys make it really easy over there with Social Security Administration. And I find myself, I'm on these types of websites, getting myself checked in, and you can have those moments of panic. And then all you need to really do is, resubmit a W-2 or just know where one document is. Is there any place on the ssa.gov/my account where we should be a little careful of entering in numbers or checking and then taking things with a grain of salt? Because some of these things, you can get in a little bit of a panic when you're checking them online.
I think if you're on our site, if you're at the ssa.gov, you can be pretty safe or feel pretty safe about everything you're doing.
Yeah. Awesome. Jack Myers, any final wrap-up words just based on our checking our earnings history? We got a lot to cover in this back half here.
Just a reminder, ssa.gov, my account to get started today.
Perfect. That's Public Affairs Specialist Jack Myers of the Social Security Administration on the phone right now on this WTIM morning show. Got to take ourselves a break right now. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We are back connected to Facebook on Taylorville Daily News. It finally worked for us. Thank you all so much for tuning in there. And we'll be right back here on WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Want to make your Black Friday shopping more meaningful this year? This is Shala Snagel, Executive Director of Kimmer Village. Before you head out for those great deals, check out the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce's Facebook page. The Kimmer Village Kids Christmas Wish List will be there. When you have those 2-for-1 deals, shop for the Kimmer Village Kids and make their Christmases a little brighter.
The NFL is on Westwood One.
Handoff, Peterson breaking to the clear. Far side, Peterson, 40, 35. Peterson, good night.
Tune in all season long for the NFL's biggest games and most exciting players. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
WTIM on its many on-air platforms. The Big 870 across central Illinois, 96.1 FM in Christian County, 107.5 FM in Shelbyville, and 107.9 FM in the Pana-Nokomis area brings you NFL Sunday afternoon doubleheaders, Monday night and Thursday night football, along with the divisional championships and the Super Bowl. All brought to you by
First National Bank, McClure Halberg Insurance, Blakely Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Taylorville Community Eye Care, Advanced Title Group, and Christian County YMCA.
The Christian County Economic Development Corporation is a not-for-profit organization whose mission is to promote the creation and retention of jobs and to increase the economic tax base through the development, establishment, and expansion of commerce and industry in the Christian County area. I'm Matt Hart, CCEDC's new Executive Director. I'm here to work with existing county employers as well as develop relationships towards creating new jobs in our county. Feel free to reach out to me, Matt Hart, by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
This is Dwayne Wheeler, the police chief of the city of Taylorville. As a law enforcement officer, I've seen the impact that depression and suicide have on many people. Many times, those contemplating suicide endure considerable suffering and distress, but there is help. If you feel depressed or lonely, there are many resources to help you. You can call a trusted relative, friend, or minister, or call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. That is 1-800-273-TALK. All of us are here to help you. Thank you.
Fall means attending your favorite festivals and bonfires. Taylorville Care Center can help get you back to doing what you want, like attending a local fall festival. Find out more by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Brandy Bruley here, Superintendent of Taylorville Schools. We promote student success because Taylorville schools are A+. Find out everything we can offer your students by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into the WTIM morning show, this time with Jack Myers, Public Affairs Specialist with the Social Security Administration. Again, thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark in that first half. We talked with Jack about checking your earnings history annually, at the minimum, check that annually and make sure it's all right for you. Now, kind of switching gears here, information for veterans and active duty military members as it relates to Social Security, Jack.
Absolutely. We're on the cusp here of Thanksgiving. Yeah. So, we kind of move from holiday to holiday, but I want to take a moment and just recognize Veterans Day, which obviously was earlier this month on November 11th. But I think it's important that we, like I said, take a moment to honor all veterans who served our country and risked their lives to protect us and say thank you. And so what we can offer up from Social Security's perspective is, just some information. We've got a web page or a part of our website that's dedicated to information that we think would be interesting to veterans. So if you go to ssa.gov, once you're on our page, type the word veterans in our search box on our page, you'll get to our veterans webpage. And on there, you'll see a lot of information that we think would be interesting to veterans. Something I want to highlight would be relating to our Social Security disability programs. We have a couple ways that we can expedite disability claims for veterans. One of those is if a service member develops a disability while on active duty on or after October 1st of 2001, and that's regardless of where they were when the disability occurred, we can expedite the processing of their claim through something we call our Wounded Warrior Initiative. And then similarly, if a person has a disability VA compensation rating of 100% permanent and total, we can expedite their disability claim as well. Now, VA benefits are different from Social Security. So if you are on VA disability and you think you might qualify for Social Security, it does require a separate application with us. But as I mentioned, those are two ways that we can expedite those disability claims for veterans. And that's really just a thank you for the service. It doesn't mean that it's automatically going to be approved. We still have to use our system, our rules to evaluate that claim, but it's a way we can move that claim up and get a faster decision, again, as a thank you for your service.
Yeah, that's amazing. And as you mentioned, their Veterans Day, November 11th, just so many really great opportunities to be taken there with Social Security. Anything else we need to know about this one? I mean, you said it's as easy as searching up veterans at SSA.gov.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
it, SSA.gov,
Cool.
and look for veterans, and you'll find it.
Alrighty, Jack Myers, kind of switching gears now, if that's the last you had for veterans and relating to SSA.
Yes.
Perfect. Alrighty. It looks like Medicare open enrollment kind of reaching an end here kind of soon. What else do we need to know?
Yeah, that's a real good thing to mention here. We're in an open enrollment period for Medicare. Now, this period is for people who are already enrolled in Medicare.
Okay.
So this is an annual opportunity from October 15th through December 7th for Medicare beneficiaries to take a look at their options for health and prescription drug coverage. That's going to include things like Medicare Advantage plans, Medigap plans, Medicare prescription drug plans. You want to take some time to look at your existing plan, see if there have been any changes. Have there been any changes in your health situation where, maybe that plan that was working for you previously isn't working quite so well? If you do think that you need to make a change, you're in that period now until December 7th where you could make that change, and the new change will be effective January 1st of 2025.
Okay.
If you don't need to make any changes, you don't have to worry about it. There's no action required. This is just for those who want to make a change. But it is important to take a look because things do change with these plans. Things do change with your situation. So it's always a good idea to take a look at this during this open enrollment period. And there are a couple ways that you can get information. You can go to Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE. Or there's also something in Illinois through the Department on Aging called the Senior Health Insurance Program. And you can call them at 800-252-8966 or just look for Illinois Department on Aging Senior Health Insurance Program. And, I recommend those two places because they're not affiliated with any particular plans or insurance companies. So they can give you a little bit more robust view of all of the options that are available to you.
Perfect. Alrighty. And that Medicare open enrollment runs until December 7th right there, Jack Myers. We got about a minute and a half left. Can I throw one of these fun questions at you right here to wrap us up?
Absolutely.
Awesome. I think this one might pertain to our last topic here. I need to make changes to my Medicare prescription drug coverage. Can I do that?
Yeah, so that's going to be tied in. You're exactly right. That's tied into right now.
Perfect.
If you're in that open enrollment period, you can do that through December 7th.
Okay, that was almost 2 on the nose right there. How about I have medical coverage through my employer. Do I have to take my Medicare Part B?
That's a great question. So this would be more so for people who have not yet enrolled in Medicare. So the enrollment period we were just talking about is people who are already in. But as a lot of folks know, as you approach age 65, you have to think about signing up for Medicare.
Yeah.
There's a lot of concern about penalties for not signing up, but if you're not signing up because you're still working and you're covered by a group health plan, you can qualify for a special enrollment period down the road that would not involve any penalties. There is a time limit, so you want to do it either while you're still working or within 8 months of when you stop or you lose coverage, but you would have that opportunity to do so within a special enrollment period without incurring a penalty. And of course, you can get more on our website at ssa.gov or go to medicare.gov for more.
Just perfect, Jack. We always thank you for keeping us informed where we need to be, and I hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
Thanks. You too, Tim.
Thank you, sir. Jack Myers, Public Affairs Specialist with the Social Security Administration, right here on the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you all for tuning in.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville.